2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday the 6th of September and it's National Reader Book Day. And a big happy birthday to Idris Elba, Pippa Middleton and Kerry Katona. 10 Downing Street's got a new resident, as Liz Truss has been confirmed as the new Conservative leader and Prime Minister, albeit with a smaller than expected total of 57% of the vote.
Rishi Sunak, 60,399. Liz Truss, 81,326. Therefore, I give notice that Liz Truss is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. We'll come up on stage.
She faces a pretty bulging in-tray even before officially taking up the job. The Foreign Secretary, who many knew ahead of the leadership contest for her enthusiastic speech in 2014 about British cheese, will formally become Prime Minister later after visiting the Queen at Balmoral. Boris Johnson congratulated her on what he called her decisive win and urged Conservatives to get behind her 100%. In her acceptance speech on Monday, the 47-year-old signalled she's no plans to call an early general election and promised a bold plan to tackle some of the big challenges we're facing.
Thank you for putting your faith in me to lead our great Conservative Party, the greatest political party on earth. And we will deliver a great victory for the Conservative Party in 2024. Thank you. Thank you.
Ahead of Liz Truss revealing her new look cabinet, Priti Patel became the biggest name so far to confirm she won't be serving in the government. In a letter to Boris Johnson, the Home Secretary announced her return to the backbenches and said it had been the honour of her life to serve in the cabinet. Meanwhile, Labour's called on the new Prime Minister to freeze energy bills, while the Lib Dems, who want a general election, have predicted more of the same crisis and chaos under her reign. Sir Keir Starmer says there are issues she urgently needs to address.
Well, we've heard far more from the latest Prime Minister about cuts to corporation tax over the summer than we have about the cost of living crisis, the single most important thing that's bearing down on so many millions of households. And that shows not only that she's out of touch, but that she's not on the side of working people.
Conservative MP and former leadership contender Penny Mordaunt told Sky's Beth Rigby the mood in the party is to unite and Truss will be able to hit the ground running.
I had no doubts about backing Liz. I've known her for a long time. She is of good character. She's a strong character. And I think that that's what we need to take our country forward right now.
Things got, well, heated on Good Morning Britain on Tuesday as money-saving expert Martin Lewis, who was hosting, got into a bit of a barney with former Tory MP Edwina Currie. Household bills are set to rise next month, but Edwina, who suggested placing foil behind radiators to save on heating costs, warned against the press spiralling into moral panic. The money-saving expert was rather astonished. He said you can't dull down the issue and the rising cost of living is in fact not an opinion.
I'm afraid you can't ignore the rise. You can't ignore the rise in bills. That's what the catastrophe is. It's not my language. It's the practice of what's happening. And we did a poll on it. Even 90% of Conservative voters. In a poll I did of nearly 100,000 voters on Twitter said this was a catastrophe. Never mind everyone else.
This week sees energy companies liaising with politicians following the proposal for Liz Truss to freeze bills to move forward, as customers say they won't, or rather can't, pay. Founder of OVO Energy, Stephen Fitzpatrick, put forward an action plan which could see support taper off for high earners using more electricity. He says he'd welcome talks with the new Prime Minister to find a simple and immediate way forward.
We're expecting to meet with the new government as soon as possible. We've been told already over the weekend that this is the first order of business and that we should expect to be meeting ministers and their advisors in the coming days.
Do you think...
Police in Canada have announced that Damien Sanderson, one of the suspects in a mass stabbing incident in Saskatchewan, has been found dead. It comes as a manhunt continues for his brother following an attack that left 10 people dead and 15 others injured. Officers are investigating 13 different crime scenes. The attacks happened across an Indigenous community and nearby town. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he's closely monitoring the incident. Police have yet to figure out a motive for the stabbings and warned that the remaining suspect is extremely dangerous. Rhonda Blackmore is from the Saskatchewan Police.
Miles Sanderson, Damien's brother, may have sustained injuries. This has not been confirmed. But we do want the public to know this because there is a possibility he may seek medical attention.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Cameron Norrie's US Open runs come to an end and Married at First Sight heads for more drama. Right after this. Welcome back.
There was plenty of drama on Monday in the US Open as Rafael Nadal was knocked out by American Francis Tiafoe, who now advances to the quarter-finals. The final British player in the singles, Cam Norrie, is also out. He lost his last 16 match against five-time Grand Slam quarter-finalist Andrei Rublev in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. It's the best run the 27-year-old's had at Flushing Meadows. Norrie's now going to turn his thoughts to leading Britain's Davis Cup team in Glasgow next week.
I felt like I started the match very well, very relaxed and playing good, serving well, and I felt maybe a little bit too relaxed and too low energy. I don't know.
Is it a case of I do, or is it deja vu? As Married at First Sight UK continues, Season 7 seems more familiar than expected for some as fans spot a resemblance between Whitney Hughes and last year's fiery star Nikita Jasmine. We're only a few eps in, but this year's Bridezilla, who's already been cast as the villain of the reality show on Twitter, is now coming under attack for modelling herself on the previous contestant. So Nikita wanted to set the record straight, and she spoke to the Heat 7, saying she can't see such an extreme likeness.
I feel like Whitney's a lot more direct and a lot more angrier than I am. So I've seen a lot of people like comparing us on Twitter, saying, "Oh, she's the Nikita, she's like the same version as Nikita off last year." But I don't like to judge people because, over the next few weeks, our personality might change.
The world premiere of Olivia Wilde's new film Don't Worry Darling's just a week away, but fans are worrying as the drama doesn't seem exclusive to the contents of the motion picture. Due to her return flight home from Budapest, Harry Styles' co-star Florence Pugh missed out on the pre-screening Venice Film Festival press conference, but luckily just made it in time for the red carpet. Director Olivia Wilde addressed rumours of Pugh's dislike of working on the movie, albeit cryptically, as a smiling Harry Styles sat quietly.
As for all the endless tabloid gossip and all the noise out there, I mean, the internet feeds itself. I don't feel the need to contribute. I think it's sufficiently well-nourished.
This has been the Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft